money coming in. Know you fine as hell, body stuck on 10. 2 a.m. on my side, let me in.
YouTube, y'all, we come with stopping knowing the dark sides of reality TV. I thought this is the perfect video because I just got done with Love Island. I can't lie. So all my men who don't watch Love Island, you're sleeping, my nigga. Like, I see, we got, like, some men, bro, y'all be trying to act too masculine, my nigga. Like, bro, that's not even a bad show. I can't even lie. I was like this whole time. I'm like, shit. I mean, my girl had to get me into it, but at the same time, W show. But let's go ahead and get to the video. Welcome new people, new subscribers.
People understand that reality shows aren't exactly real, but to dismiss the shows and just say, oh, it's all scripted, it's all fake, that's not exactly true either. You see, these shows operate more like human science experiments than scripted entertainment. Producers aren't necessarily telling contestants what to do, what to say, and how to act, but going through a series of calculated behind-the-scenes steps to control the environment and nearly guarantee chaos on camera. Unfortunately, because these tactics are designed to push people past their breaking point, there have been countless cases where contestants' lives were tragically cut short.
Wait, what? Wait, somebody ended up gone?
With many pointing to the mental and emotional toll these shows have had on them. Today we are going to uncover the step-by-step process reality shows use to psychologically manipulate their contestants into getting the entertainment that they want, and all the ways it has gone horribly wrong. It all starts with the people they cast in the first place, whose personality profiles will naturally clash, ensuring fights and maximizing drama. Even though reality shows can have vastly different premises, most of them follow a similar structure. Bring a group of strangers together, isolate them from the outside world, and then put them through some kind of challenge with real stakes on the line. And whether the final prize is money or love, the production process for maximizing the entertainment value of these shows is mostly the same, and a lot of it relies on morally unethical behavior. Before the cameras turn on, reality shows have an extremely...
Bro, have y'all ever seen Survivor? I've always heard of it, but I've never seen it. What is that about? Like, is it kind of like Naked and Afraid, where they just be out in the woods and stuff? Like, what is Survivor? Because she looked like she would be on a show named Survivor. I can't lie, she might be on Naked and Afraid, and I don't know. But generally, she like she done this. It's like you just go in the woods and you just gotta survive.
Calculated casting process.
The
first step for getting on many
Eric?
reality shows is a lengthy application, and we're not talking a job application. Shows like Big Brother require IQ and psychological evaluations to ensure contestants will be able to perform under pressure. Survivor is similar, where production goes through 25,000 initial applicants, complete with background and psychological screenings before they're even considered for a callback. One of the reasons why this process takes so long is because producers aren't just looking for good contestants, they're looking for specific characters. Every person on the show has to fit a very specific role. You might have the hero, the villain, the underdog, the heartbreaker, the loudmouth, the wild card. It's like casting for a movie, except the script hasn't been...
How do you know though? Like, how do you know, like deep down, like, this person, like, gonna be that? Like...
written yet, and usually the most successful shows are when everyone plays their role perfectly. Like in Jersey Shore, Ronnie was the hothead who wanted to start fights. Jenny was the female hothead who wanted to start fights. Snooki was the lovable mess. Mike the Situation was the arrogant loudmouth. Vinny was the laid-back, lovable nice guy. Pauly D was the uplifting wingman. You knew exactly what you were going to get from each character, which made the show easier to produce, made the stories easier to write, and fans could easily understand and develop...
Is that pizza? And is that... I can't even call this lasagna. What the is this?
Social relationships with the cast. However, during the casting process, what producers are truly looking for are people that exhibit characteristics known as the dark triad. The term dark triad refers to a trio of negative personality traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. Put more simply, they're looking for those who are entitled, lack empathy, and manipulate others. Why? Well, these are the people that create the best drama. A perfect example is Russell Hantz from Survivor. But first, a quick word from today's sponsor, Fume. Flavored Air is quickly becoming the leading alternative.
Shout out to you, my boy. Get them coins, but I gotta skip, bro. Get at my boy, though. I no lie, get at him.
Russell became legendary for burning other contestants' socks, sabotaging food supplies, and lying.
She gon' nigga. Nah. Like, I know this shit called Survivor, but he's trying to kill people for real. Like, can I take him out? Cause like, if you burning my socks, there's a high chance my feet might get infected. And you burning my food, you are literally trying to kill. No, I would have to take him out. There's no way. Like, is there rules on this show?
Straight to people's face. He wasn't just playing the game, he was thriving on manipulation and control, and fans love to hate him for it. Some contestants wear these dark triad traits like a badge of honor. Tiffany New York Pollard is one of the most iconic reality stars in history who was unapologetic about stirring up drama on VH1's Flavor of Love.
Not you. You can choke. This was the first interaction I really had with Rain, so I wanted to see her anger level. I wanted to see if I was powerful enough to twist her mind. It was a mind thing. She got mind screwed by me, and it worked.
Bro, this is how some people be like dead ass thinking, and the whole time you just be chilling. I promise you, like, nobody's worried about you like that. Like, bro, I hate when people like, bro, they worried about, nobody's worried about you at all. Not even me. Like, what are we talking about?
My advice to the other ladies in the house would be beware of me, because I'm not backing down.
Or take Stephen Bear from X on the Beach. He built a persona around seduction, betrayal, and exploiting his relationships for entertainment, but it turns out this was no persona. This was actually who he was in real life. Bear was convicted and jailed for revenge prawn after leaking explicit footage of an ex-partner online. He was sentenced to 21 months in prison. Psychologist Pamela B. Rutledge says that the perfect reality TV star and the perfect scammer or con artist have many overlapping traits. Actors, con artists, and scammers all tend to exude energy and have excellent powers of persuasion. The best scammers can project something desirable and likable about themselves to increase perceptions of trust and appear to offer an opportunity with lots of upside while glossing over the risks. And to no surprise, there are literally countless people who were found guilty of financial crimes before or after appearing on reality TV.
Scammers, my nigga, bro, one time they almost got my stupid ass. But listen, you gotta have a trained ear. Listen, y'all, from this point on, if you would have made it this far in this video, if you don't take anything from this video, train your ears to scammers. I'm telling you, they will get your stupid ass. Like, look, everybody in the world will be like, nah, they can't keep. Trust me, I said the same shit until they start talking, and then you be like, nigga, I almost signed my life away. But the first day, I spent the day with the nigga, and I'm like, and I just sat back, I'm like, just calculating in my head, because that's all I do is overthink. So I'm like, hell no, you can't get my stupid nigga. What?
Jen Shah from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City was running a telemarketing scam targeting vulnerable, often elderly individuals. Shah pleaded guilty and was later sentenced to 6.5 years in prison and ordered to pay $6.5 million in restitution. Teresa Giudice from The Real Housewives of New Jersey served 11 months in prison after committing multiple acts of financial fraud. Richard Hatch from Survivor was indicted for fraud and tax evasion. Todd and Julie Chrisley were found guilty of both evading taxes and conspiracy to defraud community banks out of more than $30 million to fund their lavish lifestyle. Julie and Todd were sentenced to 7 and 12 years in prison, but lucky for them, another reality star scammer had the power to personally pardon them. If you just Google reality star fraud, you'll get so many different examples that it actually looks like these producers are intentionally trying to cast scammers to be on their show. But show producers have been criticized for not doing enough due diligence to avoid platforming bad or immoral people. Since they go through a deep vetting process, they should know about any potential controversies. Bachelor contestants met with a private investigator who is, quote, trained to dig up any skeletons in the closet, partly to use for their storyline, but also to get ahead of any tabloid stories that could come to the surface if they were on the show. Had they ever been arrested? Had they ever sent nude photos to anyone? Had they ever made an X tape? Had they gotten a DUI? Recently, Love Island cast member Sierra Ortega was removed from season.
Am I the only person who fuck with Sierra? Like, bro, so the whole time Sierra seemed like a nice person, and then all of a sudden Sierra just disappeared. I'm like, what the even me and my girlfriend both fuck with Sierra, and then Sierra just disappeared, And then Nicki Landry was just dating out of nowhere, and I'm like, what the fuck? It was like a whole one. It just threw me for a loop, bro. I was like, what the hell?
7, after posts from years ago resurfaced showing her using a racial slur that was historically used to attack Asian people. Outrage erupted online, she was labeled a racist, and fans demanded that she be removed from the show. She announced that she left the show due to a personal situation and then issued an apology online.
I had no ill intention when I was using it, but that's absolutely no excuse because intent doesn't excuse ignorance. It just doesn't.
Ciara also noted in her apology that angry fans called ICE on her family, and she posted a slew of extremely hateful messages and threats.
Okay. See, but what the... Wait, Ciara, you talking back like this? Ciara said, next time I see you... What the fuck? Bro, y'all real life be crazy as hell. I'm telling you, bro. We just reacted to a video of how the internet ruined lives. Bro, it's y'all... Okay. She might have said something out of pocket. Who knows how old she was? It don't excuse what the fuck she said. But at the same time... What the... And then how do you say this? Going on Love Island was the biggest mistake of your life. You're such a flop, and I hope you... Like, and then say it with a smiley face. Like, how you do that? See, that's how I know you one of those. You one of them flip-flop motherfuckers. How you gonna say, I hope you, and then with a smiley face? You crazy as hell.
That she was receiving. To give you an idea of the magnitude of Love Island and this controversy, Ciara's apology video had over 20 million views. Now, some people were confused why this was being treated as a new news story, considering she had publicly addressed and apologized for the use of this slur before she was ever on Love Island, and that raised some conspiracies. Some suggest that producers knew about this controversy before the masses did and actively ignored it, because if you think about it, Love Island only benefits from Ciara's backlash, as her name is directly tied to the Netflix series. I think it's safe to assume that when it comes to a reality TV show, all publicity is good publicity, right? When Love is Blind faced similar backlash for allegedly platforming bad people.
Wait, hold on. Ahead of season 7, which aired on Reunion. I thought we on season 7 right now. When does Love Island Reunion happened? I thought it was April 25th. Am I tripping?
Creator Chris Colin defended their vetting process. We have background checks and psychological evaluations. Everyone in the world has a story, and we aren't the police. These shows don't take accountability for the actions of their contestants because, well, realistically, they aren't to blame, but also because they aren't exactly looking for the most morally righteous individuals in the first place. True. Producers want a perfect mix of unpredictable, toxic, and genuine personalities, which when thrown in a room together for long enough are guaranteed to cause chaos and produce dramatic television. Then again, producers' psychological manipulation tactics can even have genuine people behave differently than they normally would. Sarah Hartshorn, who was cast on America's Next Top Model in 2007, described producers exuding a subtle tactic. Thousands upon thousands sent in audition tapes from all over the country, every single state. We had casting scouts all over looking for candidates, and you guys are the ones who made it. You're here, and it's not just your looks. You all know that being a top model is more than that. It's who you are, and one of you is America's Next Top Model. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. By framing the contestants as...
I'm just scared in the area. This is 2007, so we gotta remember that. And I'm like, you feel me? I'm just scanning the area, bro. That's all. Just scanning the area. I don't know who the fuck I have as top model. Who? Okay. Wait, how many people? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 people. Who do y'all feel like the top model here? I ain't gonna lie. I feel like this is 2007? This 2007? What's the hairstyle back then? I ain't gonna lie, bro. Maybe I'm being biased, but she got a look to her. This lady right here, she kind of got a look to her. I'm fucking with it. But she right here, I feel like this kind of gives 2007. This right here, this fit right here, this. I don't even know what this is. Just like this fit, like, and this hairstyle, yeah, for sure.
chosen and exceptional, producers create a heightened sense of purpose and pressure. It deepens the emotional investment of the cast, making them more willing to endure extreme conditions or humiliation for the sake of not wasting their once-in-a-lifetime shot. It also shifts the power dynamic in favor of the producers. Contestants are no longer just people, they're characters in the producer's story that they feel obligated to live up to. And before ever stepping onto the set, contestants are almost always required to sign strict contracts, often including detailed non-disclosure agreements. Now, it's easy to understand why NDAs are somewhat necessary to prevent the show's ending from being spoiled by bitter contestants, as the episodes were filmed months in advance, but fans have to wait week after week to find out what happens. What they don't realize is sometimes these contracts come with threats. Sarah Hartstone recalls America's Next Top Model producers threatening to sue contestants for $5 million if they leaked any information about the show. The contestants were shook. They thought, "We don't have $5 million. The producers replied, "We know you don't. We know all about all of your financial information. None of you have $5 million. None of your families have $5 million either." But the NDAs can go even further. They can prohibit contestants from publicly discussing production conditions, mental health.
Bro, your whole family broke. We know you broke. Your family broke. Do something. Say something. I dare you. We got you. I'm telling you. You're gone. You're cooked. That's insane. Shit, I ain't gonna lie though. I would have did it. I would have been. I don't know nothing.
Health struggles during filming, and any manipulative tactics producers use behind the scenes. Take this viral Reddit post from a former reality show contestant, for example. "The producers made me go through hell for 4 months. I lost my house, my car, my business, my boyfriend. I was very naive, and they exploited me to the point of a mental breakdown.
Wow.
They used contracts to hold me hostage in a sense, gaslit me every day. I can't even bring myself to discuss what they did, as it's so upsetting to think of, as they used me and I feel so stupid. I'm now living with my parents at 40, too afraid to date or work again, and have overwhelming shame." Now sure, this could just be a random person on the internet making this whole thing up, but this anonymous recount sounds exactly like the countless personal stories I will share throughout this video. So now that producers have acquired a perfect cast of clashing personalities, instilled all of them with a slight god complex, and prevented them from revealing any information about their experience, the next thing to do is manipulate their surroundings, restricting their diet, and implementing borderline torturous tactics to manufacture chaos. And it all starts with 24/7 surveillance. As soon as you wake up in the morning, your mic is put on. When you go to bed, it's taken off. On The Bachelor, contestants sign contracts in which they must agree to be filmed up to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But this may also be by means of hidden cameras and microphones, according to the contract, meaning they're likely going to be caught at some point in a less than positive light. They should have no expectation of privacy. This may
I'm telling you, bro, I'm finna be like Castanet. Like, I'm bathing in shorts. I'm chilling in shorts. I'm not having no relations on TV. Like, there's no way. Like, people, like, be having all types of crazy shit happen on Love Island, and they still be recorded. And even when they were showing it, I'm like, hold on, bro. You can take bro. I don't need to see this, bro. You can take the camera off. Like, what you got going on?
Seem like an obvious necessity for reality TV to function. After all, the only way they can capture reality is by making sure literally everything is being filmed and recorded. Right? Sometimes you see a contestant rip off their microphone and storm off to essentially protest being recorded, but the cameras just follow them anyways, and the audience is excited for more drama. It's a harsh reminder that they literally can never escape. On The Bachelor, constant filming is actually sold as a good part of the experience. Contestants open up about things like anxiety, grief, or past trauma, all while the cameras are rolling 24/7, turning their real pain into a part of the show. The audience is made to believe that all this surveillance is necessary to show someone's journey, because towards the end of the show, there is literally a highlight reel of all of their pain being broadcast to millions of people. And the craziest part is, the contestants have no control of how that pain is edited, manufactured, and presented to the world. Surveillance is done by the producers to maintain complete control over their participants, and this anonymous Love Island contestant described the extreme lengths producers would go to.
"When you're there, you don't realize how much you are controlled by them. If you talk too much about life outside of the island, the voice of God, which is like a big speaker, will tell you to shut up. So it's like, this doesn't make good telly. Most of your day is just filled with gossiping about situations. inside the villa because that's all you're allowed to talk about.
Another former Love Island contestant described what producers
I
would
couldn't
do
do that
to
shit.
provoke a situation.
They set up the environment to test you because they know exactly what you don't like, they know exactly what you're scared of, they know what you're attracted to, what you're not attracted to, they know your triggers. So it's very easy for them to manipulate your environment and situations to get the best reaction out of you. And especially when the storyline is not going the way that they want, they know exactly how to fix that because they know you very well. You're literally
You seen that puppet hand? Oh, that was W clip added. No clap. No, I said no clap. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's embarrassing. That's nasty. That's terrible. No, I'm gonna keep it in though. That's terrible. No clap. Boy, what the?
they're just a little rat in their experiment and they're trying to see what they can change and what they can do to see how you're going to react and how far they can push you.
Now, beyond surveillance, one of the foundational elements of a successful reality show is keeping the contestants in pure isolation. In Big
I
Brother,
heard about
contestants
this.
are confined to a house with no access to phones, internet, television, or contact with family and friends.
What
This
the-
isolation forces
I didn't
them
know
to
about that.
rely on their relationships within the house, making every alliance, betrayal, and argument feel more intense. Former Bachelor contestant Leslie Hughes said, "We have nothing. We are completely cut off from the world. We have to talk to each other. We have nothing else to do." Similarly, Love Island isolates contestants in a luxurious villa where they have no communication with the outside world. There are no distractions, and they essentially create this artificial bubble where everything on set becomes the only thing that matters to them.
We didn't have any autonomy at all. Not only did they take our phones, they took our wallets, they took our IDs, they took our passports, all in the same instance, without telling us ahead of time this was going to happen.
And we were filming 18 to 20 hours a day. The only time we weren't being filmed was when the union crews swapped out for a new crew because they had met their maximum for the day.
You never see daylight unless you're allowed to use the bathroom, which is a trailer outside. They keep you in the state where you really have no idea how much time has transpired. It's one of those things where, looking back on it, if someone told me it was a month, I might have believed them.
So what else can they do to cure their boredom? Well, have you ever noticed just how much alcohol is being consumed on reality TV
Nah, I
shows?
never
It feels
feel like a
like
lot.
most of the explosive moments or juicy drama erupts after a night of heavy drinking. Nick Bateman from Big Brother said, "Alcohol was given to us when we were feeling down or depressed or nothing was going on, because obviously alcohol is the Molotov cocktail producers use to liven things up." Bateman says drinks were coveted by contestants because it would quell the boredom of being captive in the house. Bronwyn Wyndham Burke from The Real Housewives of Orange County says that producers took it a step further. Whenever you're filming, they have alcohol there. They ask you before you go on a trip, what kind do you like? They get to know what your favorites are. And while producers don't force you to drink, alcoholic beverages were readily available, and that sometimes during scenes, cast members were discouraged from eating. Jeremy Hartwell, who was a Love is Blind
Oh hell, nigga, I can't eat. Man, you got me fucked up. Talking about you can't eat. Not right now. You gotta drink some more alcohol though. Man, is you trying to do things to me? Like what you? That feel like. Listen, that is a prime. You trying to R. Kelly me at that point. You trying to Bill Cosby me. You mean to tell me I can't eat and all I can do is drink? You're trying to Bill Cosby me. Like get the fuck away from me. What do you mean? I can't. What? Get. I might be crazy, but I'm not that damn crazy.
contestant sued the company alleging that he could not access food and water, but alcohol was available and even encouraged on an empty stomach.
No.
Now, it's one thing to give a bunch of partiers some alcohol, but putting restrictions on their diet is just borderline evil. And there's a lot of evidence
Insane.
that supports this tactic. On The
Insane.
Bachelor, contestants are not allowed to eat any food during their dates because the microphones pick up the unpleasant sounds. No
Oh,
one
well.
looks good eating, and microphones pick up all
Like,
kinds
wait.
of chomping. Now, this seems like a justifiable reason, and even though it sounds messed up, in shows like Survivor or Alone, contestants aren't fed enough to somewhat mimic the simulated reality of surviving in the wild. But one could also theorize that low blood sugar could prompt emotional reactions, pushing contestants towards emotional or medical breakdowns. In Mr. Beast games, contestants complained about their food rations. One meal reportedly included a tiny portion of cold oatmeal, one hard-boiled egg, and a few pieces of raw vegetables. They also described going along
I looked at that nigga. Would you eat this? Like, bro, Bro, sometimes you just gotta look at the nigga who give you some shit and just be like, would you eat this? Okay then, go get me a real motherfucking plate. Like, what are you talking about?
Stretches without being fed by the production. There were times when the production staff gave out small feastable chocolate bars and filmed some people eating and praising the candy. Contestants with food allergies and dietary restrictions struggled more than others. Before the competition, people filled out forms detailing their dietary needs. An FAQ document was provided to contestants in advance of the event and said that all dietary and food restrictions would be taken into consideration. However, several contestants claimed to be served food they were allergic to and that alternatives hadn't been provided. We were treated horribly, a contestant said. They took on this challenge of 2,000 competitors. They should have known they needed an enormous crew to handle this correctly. So now that producers have trapped and isolated borderline toxic people who are malnourished and pumped with alcohol, at the very least, a good night's sleep would be their last chance to recalibrate. Well, they don't get that either, because sleep deprivation is one of the most messed up but crucial parts of the reality show entertainment formula.
With Villa Light, there's no clocks. What they was doing was like keeping you up really late, waking you up early, so then you're going to react more because you like basically got sleep deprivation.
Most competition reality shows follow a similar daily routine. Wake up early in the morning, typically around 7 a.m. Then they go do their competitions or tasks for the day. Then in the evenings, they talk strategy or socialize with another while getting drunk. Now you have to keep in mind that producers' top priority is to get 45 minutes of watchable television each day. They can count on roughly half of the airtime coming from the actual competitions or tasks, but the other half needs to be the all too sweet drama that everyone craves. And if the day is coming to an end and they don't think they have enough, they will keep the contestants awake. For 3 years, Sarah Shapiro worked as a producer on the reality show The Bachelor. Her task, as she recalls it, was to get the contestants to open up and to give them terrible advice and to deprive them of sleep. She sees it now as complicated manipulation through friendship. In Jeremy Hartwell's lawsuit against Love is Blind, he said that they implemented what was called night dating. We didn't have clocks or anything, so it's hard to know exactly when it happened, but typically the night dates would last until about 2 a.m. He estimates that between getting back to his hotel room at 3 a.m. and being expected in the lobby at 7:15 a.m., he got 2 to 3 hours of sleep a night. On the challenge, cast members have reported being kept up until 3 or 4 a.m. and then forced into physically demanding tasks just a few hours later. On Love Island, lights in the villa stay on until producers decide it's time for bed, and contestants are often woken up abruptly for surprise challenges. The lights are on the entire time during Big Brother taping, even when the contestants are asleep. Interestingly enough, this is the same tactic that is used by the toughest maximum security prison in El Salvador. Privacy and sleeping with the lights off is considered a privilege.
The modules are kept lit all day and night for monitoring. When the sun goes down, the lights stay on all the time.
They are constantly being observed. I think this is one of the hardest things. When they try to sleep, they use their towels and cover their eyes to block the light.
And if all this manipulation, control, pushing contestants to their breaking point still isn't enough to make a good show, producers have one final weapon. They'll rewrite reality itself through a process known as frankenbiting. Frankenbiting is the editing technique reality TV producers use to reshape a contestant's words and actions into whatever storyline they want, even if it's not what actually happened. Editors take small clips of dialogue, sometimes even single words or reactions, and stitch them together to create entirely new sentences or emotional responses that never happened in real life.
Yeah, this is my first time, because like knowing about this, because literally my first reality TV show is Love Island season 7. So like, this is crazy. So you mean to tell me I probably dislike people and they were just freaking biting them? That's crazy.
Now, a lot of the time, this seems to be completely innocuous. Like this clip from The Bachelor. The girl who says, "shut up," is spliced into the edit to make it look like she interrupted Corinne.
I know that I may not be everyone's favorite person.
Shut up.
And I feel like there's like things going on behind my back or comments or whispers. And
in that moment in real life, when Corinne was talking, Jamie did not interrupt her and say shut up. That was taken from an entirely different moment out of context. And then the women who are shown laughing after Jamie says shut up was also clearly taken out of context. This happens so often in reality TV, and it's extremely clunky to watch. It often makes me wonder how people get so invested when you can see that things are manipulated even for the smallest reasons. However,
I gotta lock Yeah, now I gotta rewatch, because now I'm questioning everything I know. What?
Sometimes situations are chopped up so much and narratives are so distorted that it's shameful producers got away with it. On season 1 of Joe Millionaire in 2003, Sarah Kozer was being portrayed as the bad girl. Producers set up a scene where Sarah and Evan go for a walk into the dark yard where the cameras cannot capture them. They took audio from Sarah getting a back massage from another female castmate hours before and then put it over a vague panning shot of the backyard and made it seem like she was giving Evan top in the woods.
They made it look like she gave him head in the woods.
But even when Sarah tried to go to the press after the show was over and convince everyone that the whole scene was taken out of context, people around the world were not convinced.
Let me take a couple of calls. All right, let's go to Randy. Randy, go ahead.
Hey, Howard, how are you?
Yeah.
Sarah, let me tell you something. You're making up this whole story about you were set up. You were in love with that guy. You were all over him. You went into the woods. We all heard the slurpy noise.
Right, you know what? I hate to break it to you. I just want you to entertain the possibility that perchance not everything you see on television is exactly
You didn't give him oral?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Hello? As soon as he didn't...
I love how this man is trying to convince this woman of what she did. Like, bro, what? He's like, man, he said, who's you fooling? Now this got me questioning everything, though. Like, real life, I done fell too deep, my nigga. I done fell too deep. Because now I'm like, it's probably hellish. What?
Picked you when you heard he didn't have the money. You were devastated. You're nothing but a gold-digging white trash loser.
Although Sarah Kozer handled this scrutiny from the public with grace, others fell victim to the immense backlash. One of the darkest consequences of reality show editing is how quickly contestants become targets for obsessive, toxic fandoms,
That is true.
which has mostly been aimed towards people who have been labeled as villains on the show. And to some degree, you can't blame the fans. After all, they can only judge a contestant based on what they've seen on the show. But as we know, these shows
But y'all do be taking too far to like not email, but like text, DM, whatever, somebody and be like, yo, I hope you not here. It's insane, bro.
are barely a reflection of who that person actually is.
Exactly.
What makes it worse is these mass harassment campaigns often come from fans who believe they're acting on some kind of moral high ground. They'll flood a contestant's social media with hate, send death threats, and in some cases, dig up private information like addresses or family details.
Wow.
Olivia Atwood from Love Island UK opened up about receiving over 3,000 messages a day after her season aired, many of them telling her she didn't deserve to live. Another is Big Brother's Aaron Grease.
Bitch, who are you, God? You don't get to decide. Like, bro, y'all, who do y'all
Spoke
think
about
y'all
how viewers
are?
campaigned for her to lose her job after producers portrayed her as a manipulator through selective editing. But sometimes the harassment doesn't end with hateful comments. For some contestants, the public mauling and emotional toll have pushed them beyond their breaking point. A stat that absolutely blew my mind was that at least 40 people have died on their own volition after their appearances on reality TV. Hana Kimura, a female professional wrestler who was among the cast of the popular Japanese reality series Terrace House, died at age 22. She posted a goodbye message on social media after receiving a storm of hate online. Love Island had 2 contestants in back-to-back seasons suffer the same fate. Sophie Graydon, age 32 in 2018, and Mike Thelastis, age 26 in 2019. The Bachelor had 2 women from the same exact season pass, Alexa McAllister and Gia Allemand. What if I told you that the very first person who was ever voted off a reality show in history also suffered the same fate? Would that not be a slight indication of a broken system? In June 1997, Sinisa Savija became the first person in the world to ever be voted off a reality TV competition. The show was called Expedition Robinson. 4 weeks after he was voted off, he walked in front of a train. 9 weeks after that, the first episode of Expedition Robinson aired anyway. Before I started researching this video, I knew reality shows were pretty messed up, but I had no idea just how many tragic losses have been suffered from former contestants. contestants and the countless other attempts that have been made. And of course, this fate is never the result of just one thing. It's an incredibly complex and deep decision influenced by countless factors. But when reality shows follow the same formula again and again, calculated casting, 24/7 surveillance, isolating contestants, restricting their diet, flooding them with alcohol, depriving them of sleep, turning them essentially into controlled robots, and then putting all of their worst moments on display to millions of people, it's easy to see the inherent evil reality TV needs to have to create the entertainment. And with so many lives lost, it starts to make you wonder if this obviously broken system will ever change.
Wow. A W video, Patrick. Patrick, I love every video you do. But this one right here, I did not know people. I'm telling y'all, I had literally no idea because, like, this is my first time, like, watching, like, reality TV. I told you my girlfriend had to get me into it because, like, I'm not going out of my way to watch reality TV. I'm probably watching some Marvel or some, you know? I'm not watching reality TV. But, I ain't gonna lie, it's good. But, wow. See, we are messy as hell. Like, for people, why is it still continuing? Like, I had 38 people? Well, it says 21 right here. 21 reality stars commit in a decade. In a decade, y'all. Wow. Bro, y'all let me know your thoughts in the opinions down below. I love y'all. Stay safe. No matter what's going on, bro, don't let outside people get to you because, bro, they don't know you generally. Even if you like popping on Instagram, Pinterest, is there a way that you pop on Pinterest? I'm assuming you can pop on Pinterest, whatever app. Like, don't let people get to you. Like, always know yourself before people tell you who you are. I love y'all, and I see you next video. We out.